It's been 60 days since I left Hawaii and moved back to the San Francisco Bay Area. Leaving Hawaii wasn't just a physical move. It's starting over, returning to my roots, and saying goodbye to a place that molded my journey. From a burnt-out Silicon Valley tech worker to someone intentionally creating my own path in Hawaii. In this video, I'm taking you behind the scenes of what this transition has really looked like. The grief, the growth, and the 8 lessons I've learned along the way. And if you're going through a life transition and things don't look as you expected, I hope this video gives you something to hold on to. So the first 10 days of starting over were brutal. I left the island I called home for 4 years. I missed my community, and I turned 40. I was grieving the life I left behind and the life I thought I'd have by now. I thought I'd be married and with kids, settled. But even in that heaviness, I knew I had to create content. Because videos isn't just content for me, it's storytelling. It's how I honor my voice, it's how I process my life, it's how I feed my soul, and it's how I serve you. So I got on camera and pressed record. Lesson 1, do what brings you joy, even in hard seasons. And I made a video about turning 40. I'm starting over at 40, and it's one of the hardest things I've ever been through. It was the first time I shared my age publicly, even after years of creating content. Now that might sound small, but it had a lot of layers and nuances to it. This is actually the first time I've shared my age on the internet. And honestly, I didn't really want to, but am I monetizing my personal life? Potentially. The reason I didn't want to share my age is because society values youth and beauty for women. And a lie that society tells you as a female is as you age, your worth is less. And as you age, you become invincible and you're not as important. As a creator, you can curate an image of yourself online, and there's an online version of me that people have come to know. Funny, adventurous, and knowledgeable. And that is one side of me. But to show up fully as who you are, that takes courage. For me to say, this is me and this is my journey. Lesson 2, there is power in owning your story. So after that video, I felt lighter and life moved on. I celebrated my 40th birthday, I reconnected with old friends in the Bay Area, and I'm trying to figure out what community looks like in this season. I realized that I do not have time for surface level friendships. I really hate small talk, like a lot. I crave being around people who already know me. Lesson 3, every season has its own rhythms. Don't force old routines into a new life. So about 30 days into the move, I'm starting to find my groove of creating content, working, and even reading regularly. Then life threw me a curveball. About 40 days into this move, I stepped into a caregiving role. A primary reason I moved back to the San Francisco Bay Area was to be closer to my family, especially my aging parents. Certain things happened, which I won't go into detail about, but basically my siblings and I had to come together in a very real way. And it is incredibly hard to watch someone you love struggle in pain. For me, I feel completely helpless, and because of that and the overwhelm, I admittedly sometimes act in ways I'm not proud of because I care so much, but it seems like nothing I do matters. Meaning that no matter what I do, I can't take the other person's pain away. But this situation reminded me as to why I came back. I came back because I wanted to be closer to my aging parents, and I'm thankful that I can help out. Lesson 4, hard things can still be the right things. Life isn't just about sunshine and rainbows. Sometimes you have to do what you have to do. So I was a week into caregiving when it was time for a trip that my friend and I had planned months ago. Thankfully, my siblings were able to hold down the fort, and I still went on this trip. And that trip was actually exactly what I needed. I was able to reconnect with my friend in Hawaii, keeping those island connections alive. And traveling reminded me of the carefree spirit I had when living on island. The trip was a time to step away and remind myself of a part of me that had gone quiet. I'm adventurous. I love learning about new cultures, meeting people, and hearing stories. On this trip, that side of me came alive again. So I was able to do that and create content on this trip. I know these last few long-form videos have been more reflective and contemplative, and that is one side of me. And I also have this really fun and adventurous side, and I haven't left that part behind. It's just taking time to resurface again. Lesson 5, feed all parts of your soul, even the parts that feel far away. I'm excited to be sharing videos from this trip soon, and if you recognize where any of this video footage is from, let me know in the comments below. Also, when traveling, I was able to meet up with a mentor who I deeply admire and respect. This person has overcome so much and built a successful business and meaningful life where she serves others. I was able to interview her for my Stories of Starting Over series, where I talk to others who've also had to start over in life. And after the interview, she looked me in the eye and said, "Joanna, you really need to go all in on storytelling. I can tell this is your passion and this is what you're supposed to do and you are good at it. You just have to really believe in yourself and not let what anyone else says get you down." Her words were exactly what I needed to hear in that moment, because often as a video creator and entrepreneur, I can wonder what I'm even doing and am I doing the right thing, creating these videos and telling stories of starting over. And admittedly, self-doubt can sometimes creep into my mind, but her words were what I needed. Lesson 6, when you're on the right path, signs will appear. Our conversation gave me the fuel to keep going, and sometimes you need someone further along in their journey to speak into your life and give you the encouragement. And sometimes they're the only person you will listen to. And as a creator, it can be incredibly lonely. I feel like I inspire and I pour into a lot of people, but I don't have that as much of people inspiring and pouring into me from people who have walked similar paths as me. Just hearing those words from my mentor were everything. After this trip, I returned to the San Francisco Bay Area, trying to find my routine and rhythms again. By now, I'm about 50 days into the move. And in my journaling and reflection times, I started to notice a parallel. 10 years ago, I was almost 30. I had just moved back to the Bay Area. I was trying to find a job, and something happened where I stepped into a caregiving role. Fast forward 10 years to now. I'm 40, I moved back to the San Francisco Bay Area. I'm in transition with my business and career. And once again, I have stepped into a caregiving role. And one can have the perspective of, why is this happening again? Life is the exact same. Why am I going through this? But here's the reality. Life has changed because I've changed. Lesson 7, growth isn't often visible on the outside, but it's often how you feel on the inside. So for the second time in my life, I'm entering a new decade. I'm back in the Bay Area, going through a career pivot, and I'm also in a caregiving role. But this time I'm stronger, wiser, and more grounded. When I was 30, I felt the need to prove myself to others in my career and life. Now, I don't really care what other people think. Yeah, they say turning 40 makes you really care less about what others think of you. And that is true, and I was already kind of that way before, so I guess turning 40 is going to be shackles off, and we're just going to see how these videos and things evolve in my life. I was already unhinged. We'll see what turning 40 will do to me. But basically, I'm more focused on walking my own path. I just do me in life. I swim regularly for my mental and physical health. I journal, which has always been a consistent habit in my life. And most importantly, I continue to feed my gift of storytelling. I may not know exactly what's next, but I do know who I am. So here I am, 60 days after moving from Hawaii, still figuring things out. Some days are hard, some days are better, but storytelling centers me. Even if I'm not in Hawaii, I still have stories to tell. Real ones, messy ones, human ones. And lately, I've been thinking a lot about you, the person watching this video. I get so many messages and emails from people who are also navigating life transitions, identity shifts, and caregiving. I want to provide the space to share people's stories, which is why I'm interviewing people, and I also want to empower people in their own story and finding their voice and owning their journey. So I've been thinking about potential resources I could offer, online workshops, programs, and more. I've built things like this before, like my video coaching program, but this time I'm taking things more slowly, more intentionally, and more me. Lesson 8, go at the pace that's right for you. Your story is still unfolding. As I'm starting over, sometimes I look for signs that I'm on the right path. Even on this journey of creating longer YouTube videos, one of my goals this quarter was to create a video that hit 100K views. And that happened, so I guess I'm on the right track. My next milestone is a video with 1 million views or a dream partnership. P.S. I'm looking to partner with the right airline, so if you have hookups, let me know. Honestly though, one way I know I'm on the right path is when I read your comments. When you leave a comment and say that my story really touched you, that you feel seen and less alone, that means the world to me. That's when I know I'm doing what I'm supposed to do. So if any part of this video or those 8 lessons resonated, I'd love to hear. Drop a comment below, and if you want more behind the scenes, sign up for my newsletter. The link is in the description below. And whatever you are going through, you are not alone. Until the next video, stand tall in who you are.